You're gonna spend $20 on a comb? Oh, that is ridiculous. I'm Eric Bandholz, founder of Beardbrand. This is Beardbrand Alliance. And today we're talking about why maybe you shouldn't be spending 20 bucks on a comb. Alright boys, this is pretty easy. You know, you go down to your local drugstore, pharmacy, whatever, hop down the aisles, find a plethora of comb options available, and go pick one off the shelf, take it out, pay for it, and you're on your way for $2. So you pay $2 for a comb. Why on earth are you spending $20 for a comb? Just doesn't seem to make sense. You know, the more I think about it, it's kind of like, why would you pay $1,000 for a watch when you could pay $100 for one? Why would you pay $1 for water when you could just drink it out of the tap? Why would you buy some fancy car that costs $250,000 when you could just buy a used car for $25,000? You get where I'm going. The reality is, you spend whatever you want. I don't care how much you spend. That's your decision, your prerogative to find out if something is worth the value that it brings. But I want to go into a little bit of detail as to why why our customers might be buying our $20 combs. By now, if you watch a few of our videos, you should know Beardbrand combs are handmade, cellulose acetate. The acetate comes out of Italy. It's manufactured in Switzerland. I know there's a lot of companies out there that have alternatives. You got your wood combs, you got your metal combs, you got your plastic combs. The cellulose acetate comb comes from cellulose, so plant matter. It's like organic plastic. And then it's really cool. They like fold these layers, they smush it down, and then they cut the little slats for the combs, and then they polish it all nice and smooth, stamp it with our mark. Now, why that is better than your $2 extruded plastic comb is during that extrusion process, they got these two beautiful molds, beautiful metal pieces of metal. Anyways, they squish together, inject that mold in there, and bloop. Well, these guys are all about saving money, right? So when they pop out like that, what happens is they don't do any finishing work to this. And where that mold meets, there's going to be this like micro line. And that little line is actually going to not allow the comb to glide through your beard or your hair super soft. And what happens is those little bits of friction is more likely to cause damage to your beard than something like a cellulose acetate beard brush, beard comb, cellulose acetate comb. Whew, what is going on here? Now, if you'd like a little bit of history from Beardbrand combs, if you've been here, if you're an OG guy, you know that when we used to make combs, we made them in collaboration with Kent Combs. So we used one of Kent Combs' designs. We did a private label. We slapped Beardbrand on there, charged about the same price, and then we moved on. With our lives, right? So what happened is I ended up going to Kent's factories, and oh man, this must have been like 2014, some time ago. And I saw how they did it, and I thought we could do it better. And frankly, I think we have been able to do it better. Now, Kent makes phenomenal combs. We're proud to put our brand on it. But, you know, at Beardbrand, we're never okay with really good. We want to be the best. We want to have the best stuff out there. So, we designed our first comb. We did 3 of them. You guys remember? All right. We had this one. This one you can't get anymore. This is our pocket comb, right? And we had, boom. What's that? This is our pocket comb. That last one's our mustache comb, okay? And then this one. Boom. So these were our first combs. And it's something I personally designed. I designed it. And a couple of elements to this design I want to point out. First thing I want you to notice is the curve right here. This curve is different than the current one, all right? So we bulked up the edge of this. And then I want you to see the transition here between the fine tooth and the wider tooth on these combs. So our first version, we got pretty close, and then the second version, we elevate it. So the cool thing about Beardbrand is we do custom acetates. So you can see the edges of these combs are a little bit fuller, a little bit thicker, and they come in, and then the transition, in my opinion, is just a little bit nicer between the fine and the thick combs. So let's quickly go through the history of our combs. And I'm going to start with the pocket comb. So, well, let's start with the mustache comb. This mustache comb, it's great. It goes in your mustache like this. Man, I like it. I think it's cool. Slides in your front pocket real easy. But y'all didn't like it. Y'all didn't buy any of them. So we're not going to sell anything that you guys don't like. So this was a one and done. This was the only pattern we had. And our first pattern, we never came out with a name for it. So it was just kind of like your classic tortoise shell is what you would call this pattern. Like a tortoise shell. Okay. Boom. Look at this. First one. Got it? Tortoise shell. Second one. Now this is probably one of my favorite ones. This is what we call gray marble. Boom. Isn't that beautiful? So gray marble was like really kind of outside of our typical kind of like Havana tortoiseshell type of pattern. And then, all right, this one, this is River Rock. This one we had for a while. We also had it in our large style, so I'll be showing that in a little bit. Then after River Rock, we just wrapped up this pattern. You can't really see it here. Can you see it? It's actually kind of better to see without a white background. It's pretty translucent, which is why the white showed. This was our satin gold. I really like this one. Nice minimal look to it. And that brings us to the current one. Boom. Look at that. This one we call Bracken Sky. Now Bracken Sky is, there's a cave in just outside San Antonio called, well, the Bracken Cave, where it has the largest population of bats. So when it starts to get dark out, you see these bats flying up, and that's what it kind of reminded me of when I saw this pattern. So Bracken Sky. Now let's go to our large combs. Boom. Look at that. Okay, again, the tortoise shell. So the first version of the combs we did in the same pattern for all of them. The tortoise shell we did in the mustache, the pocket, and the large. And then this one, I think is dope. You see a lot of our videos of us using this one. This one we call Classic Havana was the name. So like in the early days, we didn't really have like great names. They're kind of like descriptive. I talked about the pocket comb. We had River Rock. It just kind of reminded me of like water flowing where it's clear, and then you can kind of see the rocks in the river. And then this is like, this is where the fun started coming in with this one, in my opinion. This is probably one of our dopest combs we've ever had, and it's sold out in like 2 months. Like we were projecting for it to last like, I don't know, 4 months or something like that, and it just like went super fast. This is molten lava. Is that like super dope or what? Like this molten lava is a super dope one, but I think like we elevated it to our current one, which is for sale now. And I don't think this one's going to be for sale very long. I think this current one is moving at a better rate than all of our other combs up to this point. So we may be selling out of this pretty quick, but this is, oh, look at that, beautiful acetate. So we call this one 90s windbreaker. It reminded me of windbreakers I wore back in the 90s. So we like to have a little bit of fun with the names. We've got some new acetates in the works. And what's really interesting about acetates, we work with a premium acetate manufacturer, is like they'll make these patterns and then they'll retire them. So we literally cannot reorder them. Now outside of like like a classic like this tortoiseshell, they'll probably be in stock forever, right? They're never going to change this. It's just kind of like black, like a black dress, right? But something like 90s windbreaker, man, this is like it's like a work of art, in my opinion. So like the type of person who is drawn to, you know, like limited edition sneakers, the person who just likes really cool, unique things, you're going to be drawn to these combs and you're going to see a lot of value from it. Now, personally, like value is totally subjective. It's up to you. It costs us a lot of money to make these because we are using premium acetates. We are making them in Switzerland. We are doing limited editions, small batches. So we're never going to be able to like drive the cost down like those $2 that are extruded plastic cones, but you can get those. Like you can get those and you know, no sweat off my back. But the thing that I like to kind of remind myself in my own journey is if I'm going to like splurge on something, if I'm going to go with a nice version of something, I'm going to do it on the cheap thing, right? Because going back to what I said earlier, a really cool, dope comb costs 20 bucks, right? Or 18 bucks compared to a $2 comb. So the difference is $16. And yeah, man, it's 10 times more expensive. Is it 10 times better? I'd say no. It's probably like 20 or 30 times better, if I'm being honest here. But what I'm saying is like, okay, it's 16 bucks. You're going to have it for a few months. Now compare it to a car. Like if I could get a Ferrari versus my little Subaru, then that's going to be 10 times more expensive. But I'm talking about a difference of $225,000. So like, if I want to splurge somewhere, I want to splurge with things that are inexpensive. You know, it's just good financial advice, right? Now, if you're watching this channel, you're probably a fan of beards, of grooming, of hair, of grooming, right? Dude, this is your hobby. This is the things you love. Dude, dude, enjoy it. You can afford an extra $16 of a comb. And if you can't, don't buy this. Don't go broke trying to buy a comb. Man, that's a terrible idea. What are you thinking? Put your money to your credit card, to your debt. Start making a little more money before you buy some fancy stuff like this. All right? You should not buy one of these, okay? Just don't buy one. It's a terrible decision. Like, because once you get one, you're like, nah, man, now I need one for my car. Now I need one for my office. Now I need one for my adopt bag. Now I need one for my bathroom. Now I need one for my work bathroom. Now and you end up with like, I got them everywhere. They're like, pop, 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 pop. And then like every time they come out, they're dope. And man, let me tell you, I got some, I'll tease the names of the future ones because you're not going to know what they look like. But, and these names could change, so they may never even come out. But we got Serengeti Plains. We got, this is my favorite one coming up. We got Unicorn Vomit. What do you think Unicorn Vomit looks like? You just wait and see. We got Perpetual Motion. You know what that one's going to look like? It's dope. It's dope. Maybe a stained glass one. So anyways, grab these while you can because when they're out of stock, they're out of stock. A lot of people try to copy us, but they're never going to be able to get these acetates. They're always going to be generic knockoffs. I wish they could be Beardbrand, but you can't because you don't have the vision that we got here in Austin, Texas. As always, thanks for watching. Cheers. Keep on growing. Hey, I'm glad you've been watching these Alliance videos. Woo, good job. Hey, do yourself a favor. Treat yourself to a little treat and come join us. Join us at the Alliance. We would love to have you. See you soon.